Memorizing points of speech. Do you have the fear of public speaking? If yes, then you are not alone. In fact, it's rated as #1 fear of people around the world. A speech leaves a better impact if the speaker presents the points in a flow. Most people prepare for their presentation speech well and are confident until the time they reach the stage. But once they are up on the stage, the situation changes completely. They become aware of hundreds of eyes looking at them, and the fear of forgetting important points seeps in. They usually become quiet or start mumbling, messing up a well-prepared speech. Unfortunately, this leaves a bad impression on their personality, and they feel more tense the next time they face an audience. Luckily, there is a simple fix. All you need is a little time and the right technique. Now, let's say I have to memorize a speech on qualities of a good leader, and the points to remember are honest, disciplined, healthy, dedicated, punctual, good communication skills, cooperative, caring, motivating, encouraging. Now, to memorize the above points, just try to visualize them by using the personal nickname method and then associate these qualities with each of the stops in the drawing room in a sequence. Let's see how you can do it. 1. Honest. Visualize a nest on the lawn. 2. Disciplined. A sofa set is loaded with lots of flying discs. 3. Healthy. Buckets of healthy food like oats, cereals are hanging from the window. 4. Dedicated. I'm praising a painting of Daddy on the wall. 5. Punctual. I'm giving a solid punch to the door to break it open. 6. Good communication skills. A plant starts communicating with me. 7. Cooperative. An operation is being done in the TV show. 8. Caring. Many toys cars are placed on the book rack. 9. Motivating. Muti is a name of fat woman is weighing herself standing on the carpet. 10. Encouraging. An anchor encouraging is standing on the center table. Now, after visualizing the points like this, while delivering the speech, just imagine the stops of drawing room sequentially in your mind, and the points can be recalled very confidently. Checking point. While visualizing the stops of a drawing room in your mind, try to recall and write all the qualities of good leader in the same sequence. There are many locations, routes, and places in your mind from which you need to look for some hide and seek places that you will require to memorize information. Benefits of hide and seek method. The beauty of this method is that you can have unlimited hiding places using which you can memorize unlimited amount of information. You can create new hiding places wherever you go on a daily basis. This method scores more over other methods, as even if you are not able to recall information on any one of the stops, you can still continue recalling from the next stop. The sequence is not disturbed. Summary. Hide and seek method is the most reliable memory technique and is used by almost all memory champions of the world. It's also known by different names such as Loci method, journey method, placement method, Roman room method, etc. In the hide and seek method, we choose a familiar location or a route in which we identify some stops or places in a sequence. Then we associate items to be memorized with these stops. Hiding places should be familiar and unique. Stops must be in a sequence. This method can be used to memorize things like points of speech, answers, shopping lists, minutes of meetings, checklists, and much more information which is in a sequence. Mnemonics. Mnemonics, pronounced mnemonics. are methods, devices, or any learning techniques that helps in retention of information. The word comes from the Greek word mnemonicos, which means of memory or relating to memory. Ancient Greeks and Romans distinguished between two types of memory, the natural memory and the artificial memory. The natural memory is inborn and is one that everyone uses automatically and without thinking. Artificial memory, in contrast, has to be trained and developed through learning and practicing a variety of mnemonic techniques. There are studies done in the past that prove students who regularly use mnemonics show a remarkable increase in their test scores. But mnemonics aren't just for children. A research about mnemonics concluded that sufficient research evidence now exists to suggest that even skilled learners can become more skilled through mnemonic strategy acquisition and implementation. Forms of mnemonics. Mnemonics are of various forms like rhyme mnemonics, acronyms, acrostics, music mnemonics, number phrase mnemonics, image mnemonics, spelling mnemonics. Rhyme mnemonics. In this form of mnemonics, the given information is transferred into a poem. For example, do you remember when Columbus sailed to America? In 1492, Columbus sailed to the ocean blue. Wouldn't it be easy to recall now? If you learn things like this, you will be able to remember it for a longer period of time. Adding a rhyme to any given text adds to its recall value. Acronym. First letter mnemonic. The first letter from a list of words is taken to form a new word. That new word is called an acronym. Acronyms are used in many fields. Some common acronyms you must be aware of are UNO, United Nations Organization, laser light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation, AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, ATM, automated teller machine. We can make our own acronyms by taking the first letter of each word in a list of items to be remembered, which can serve as a mnemonic. This is especially useful when you have to remember a short list of words in a particular order. When it's not necessary to remember the information in a sequence, the letters can be rearranged to make a more meaningful word. For example, body's excretory organs are liver, kidneys, skin, lungs, and intestines. The initials are L, K, S, L, I, which can be rearranged to form a meaningful word, skill. Now you can easily relate it by saying that body has a skill to excrete wastes. It's important to connect or associate the acronym with the topic of the information to be learned. Caution. While making new words, it's important that you are familiar with the words whose initials you are using. For example, you must know the names of the Great Lakes of North America, and only then will the acronym HOMES be useful to you. If you don't know the names, then other methods like personal nickname and chain method can be more useful. Acrostics. First letter sentence mnemonic. In this form of mnemonic, the first letter of each term is taken, and starting from those letters, some new words are formed in such a way that they make a meaningful sentence. This is the most commonly used mnemonic, popularly known as acrostics. Such mnemonics are generally used when you have to memorize a list of items in a specific order. For example, planets. The order of the planets according to their distance from the sun. Acrostic. My very educated mother just served us noodles. Oceans. Oceans of the world. Acrostic. I am at peace. Music mnemonics. There is a popular belief that learning and remembering information can be enhanced by setting the information to music. Advertisements on radio and TV Use music to help potential customers remember their products when shopping. It has been noticed that with sufficient repetition of ads, the customer starts singing the lyrics of the promotion melody. This has resulted in increased sales of the product. Number phrase technique. It's generally considered easier to remember words, especially when they are associated with another object in some meaningful way, than recalling random numbers. Numbers are usually difficult to visualize as well. Number mnemonics can be used to memorize information like addresses, invoice numbers, phone extension, etc. In this method, you have to convert numbers into words to make a phrase that is easy to remember. For example, your friend's house number is 134. To memorize it, you have to think of one letter word, then a three-letter word, then a four-letter word. But you have to keep in mind that after putting it together, it should become a phrase like, I say open. Just imagine you are banging the door of his house and saying, I say open. This way you will remember that this phrase is related to your friend's address. To memorize a big number like the customer ID of your bank account, you can create a phrase. Let's assume the number is 2525249. You can memorize it as my money is saved in bank carefully. But in the previous example, if there is 0 instead of 9, then how will you do it? Can you create a word that has 0 letters in it? No. In such a case, you can form a 10-letter word and consider it as a substitute for 0. The new phrase for 2525240 will be, my money is lying in bank carelessly. Image mnemonics. It's a well-established fact that our mind easily remembers images. The advantage of imagining is that it provides an easy way of connecting information that is not readily connected otherwise. Using imagery can make learning more fun and interesting. Image mnemonics techniques generally involve two things: forming mental images, making association between images. Summary. Mnemonics are methods or devices that help in retention of information. Forms of mnemonics. Rhyme mnemonics. We convert the given information in the form of a poem so that it becomes easy and interesting to memorize. Acronyms. Here's first letter from the list of words is taken to form a new word. Acrostic. The first letter of each term is taken to form such words that make a meaningful sentence. Music mnemonics. We associate the given information with music by infusing a melody to it. Number phrase mnemonics. We choose a 2-letter word for number 2 and a 3-letter word for number 3, and so on. With these words, we make a meaningful phrase to remember the number. This method can be used to memorize addresses, invoice numbers, phone extension, ID numbers, etc. Image mnemonics. Here we visualize any given information in the form of an image and then associate various images to memorize the complete information. Personal nickname, hide and seek method, and chain method are examples of image mnemonics.